From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Details tonight on the plan for fall high school and middle school sports here in Yellowstone County. The games will go on, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, fans will not be allowed in the stands for the time being. That's just one of the changes announced today as the county health officer released the sports policy for schools in the county. County school districts and health officials say the plan prioritizes student participation and safety. We've got team coverage tonight, beginning with Q2's Mitch Legge.
This fall, school sports across Yellowstone County will have a much different look and feel after new regulations have been released by the Yellowstone County Health Officer. Now, those preliminary regulations include fans not being allowed to attend sporting events, but that all could change if the COVID-19 situation changes in Yellowstone County. The plan for school athletics came together with input from the Yellowstone County school districts and County Health Officer John Felton. At a media conference Tuesday, Felton said COVID-19 case counts and healthcare system burden play a role in any future changes. Much also depends on how well students follow the regulations.
If we see that we can manage that and we're not getting excessive numbers of cases, then we'll be able to look at relaxing some of them. We've seen some experience. We've said many times, you've heard the language, this is a rapidly evolving situation. The interesting thing about COVID-19, if I dare use that word, is everything we do is for the first time. This is the first time that we'll have had school athletics and activities since COVID-19 has been around. So we just have to see how it goes.
The plan applies to all schools within Yellowstone County and to any teams traveling from outside the county lines. The home school will be responsible for implementing the plan in their schools and informing visitors of the restrictions. Officials place student participation and safety above all else when drafting the plan. Here's a look at some of the regulations. Athletes, coaches, trainers, band members, and cheerleaders will all be screened for COVID-19 symptoms before every practice and game. Pep bands and cheerleaders will still be able to attend, but there are limitations on the ways they can perform. When traveling, Yellowstone County teams will have assigned seats that will be used for the entire season. On top of that, if any athlete shows COVID-19 symptoms, they will be required to quarantine for up to 10 days. Billings School District 2 Activities Director Mark Wall said his coaches will pull athletes from competition if they are showing symptoms.
But our coaches are pretty good at recognizing when kids aren't themselves. And I have no doubt at all that our coaches will do the right thing when they recognize that there's a situation. Whether it's the best player or not, I have no doubt that they will do the right thing.
While fans won't be allowed inside the sporting events, members of the media will still be able to attend. For more on how the game day experience will change, let's head over to Casey Conlin.
Mitch, things are going to look very different for games inside Dallas Stadium this year. We already know there won't be any fans, so who will be here? Well, we do know there will be band members, there will be cheerleaders who are allowed, and there will be the full traveling teams for your AA schools. Those usually can be 75 to 80 guys each. Now, things will look fairly normal for kids that are actively participating in the game. However, once you come to the sideline, you will be required to wear a mask at all times. There's one big difference. Another involves water bottles. Now, typically in football, they are shared throughout the entire team. That's a no-no this year. So each person has to have an individual water bottle. And finally, it's important to note that these guidelines are only for games played inside Yellowstone County. So if these teams travel on the road to a different county, they have to adhere to those health board standards. For example, right now, Park County, which has Livingston, will not allow anyone from Yellowstone County to come and play sports or do activities. That's Central and Laurel in Class A, means they cannot go over there right now and participate. Fall sports certainly will look different. We'll see if anything changes as COVID numbers ebb and flow over the first couple of weeks. In Billings, Casey Conlin, MTN Sports.
All right, thank you, Casey and Mitch. The high school golfers have already hit the course, while other sports are allowed to begin their seasons next Friday. And as you might imagine, the new policy getting a lot of reaction tonight. The decision is breaking some hearts, while others are relieved. Many people giving their feedback on the Q2 Facebook page. Here's MTN's Andrea Lutz with a look at how some parents and sports enthusiasts are reacting.
There's reaction tonight all across the board, many taking to our Facebook page to say this decision is a major blow to parents who have been waiting all summer to watch their kids play fall sports. while others say it's the right decision to keep students and staff safe while still keeping fall sports alive. Here is what some of you had to say on our Facebook page. Brooke Bradley Murphy says, I am thankful my kids get to play fall sports. There are so many states that have lost this opportunity altogether. These individuals are doing everything they can to strike a very delicate balance. Lori Torgeson Martinez says, if the masks work so well, then there's no reason for at least parents, families to be at the games. Perrin Grubb says parents of seniors should get to watch at least a few games, especially the outdoor sports where spacing and masking is more possible. Jody Schlesch says, thank you for doing what you can to bring some normal to school and sports with all that's going on. We should all be thankful everything is not totally shut down. So if you do want to weigh in on this huge decision, we'd love to hear from you. Just get on our Facebook page. Let us know your opinion. Of course, we want to hear your thoughts. For MTN News, I'm Andrea Lutz. Russ, back to you.
All right, thank you, Andrea. The state did report 2 more deaths today and an additional 57 cases of the coronavirus. Cascade and Roosevelt counties saw the 2 new deaths this morning, bringing the state's total to 84 now. Yellowstone County added 7 cases this morning, raising the county's active total case number to 654. Across the state, the total number of cases is nearing 6,000. There have been more than 4,000 recoveries. The first day of school for Hardin Public Schools is just over a week away. No doubt there will be some challenges, but what do you do when you're in one of the hardest hit counties in the state and the district extends into some of the more rural communities? Q2's Victoria Hill took a trip to Bighorn County to find out.
In a district of 1,800 students, the Hardin School District covers a vast area of Bighorn County, from Hardin to Fort Smith and Crow Agency, with some students living as far away as Busby and Muddy Cluster. Located in the county with the second highest number of COVID-19 cases in Montana, administrators describe it as unique and being on a sort of island where it's impossible to compare and take notes from other school districts.
You know, calling Sydney or calling Dawson or calling Fergus is completely different. Calling Park County, it's just completely different at this point. So it's a challenge.
With guidance from a parent survey, come the first day of school on August 26th, students will either learn remotely or in person, Monday through Thursday. Offering at-risk, high needs are students who struggled with the material during the week to get extra help on Fridays.
And basically a third day of custodial cleaning, disinfecting on that Friday so we can shut our school down that evening, and it sits 48 hours undisturbed, so we're ready to go on Monday morning.
Regardless of that learning option, all students are getting new Chromebooks with hotspots set up throughout the district, giving students without reliable internet the ability to download and upload their assignments, then work offline from home.
We found about 1/3 to almost 1/2 it wasn't reliable, or they were having to use their data service on their phone in order to do that, which is not feasible.
While scheduling has been a challenge, the district is also trying to find a balance for staff members concerned about health and safety.
Just finding substitutes for buildings, it's going to be an impossible task. And so we're trying to prepare our classified staff that they may have to step in pairs and so on and so forth to step in and help support, you know, where maybe we needed subs that day, because I think our list is about 1/3 of what it was a year ago. In a district this size, that's not good. It was short to begin with.
One hiccup in the district's plan: Crow Agency Public School lies within the boundaries of the Crow Reservation. And with the lockdown order in place until the 31st, the school will begin the year 100% remote.
And I've also told the school and I told the staff that you need to be prepared to go beyond that, because if we're looking at it in terms of trends, which are not improving in Bighorn County right now, nor are they on the reservation, that order is going to be extended. And so those teachers, that school is going to be prepared to continue online remote servicing for that student body during during that entire time.
One department feeling confident in this new normal, school nutrition.
You know, I think for a school nutrition director, you just have to improvise.
And that's exactly what they did. When the pandemic hit, they sprang into action with grab-and-go breakfast and lunch, mirroring a program they usually do a different time of year.
That also helped us when we did close. We had that structure in place, and so we just kind of moved into our summer meal program, knowing how we deal with that, and the infrastructure was already there. We just put it into place a little early in March.
Something else already in place, safe food handling.
We do have the benefit of being used to that kind of environment, and then also, you know, some of the practices that are already in place for preparing those meals and teaching staff how to handle the food and the sanitation issues, and all of those things are kind of already in place for us.
Once all parents answer back with their decision on learning method, the school nutrition department will then determine which serving methods to use, whether it be in the classroom, in the cafeteria, curbside, or bus deliveries.
I expect that we'll do well with whatever happens, and if the school shuts down and we go back to curbside and the buses, then we'll just handle that.
And that seems to be the common theme among district leaders. Do what you can for the time being, and always plan ahead.
In my mind, I've always got the worst figured out. I'm telling our staff, you need to be prepared for at least school closure, if not complete district closure at some point this fall. At least I feel like I'm being realistic in preparing them for that. If it doesn't happen, great. But if things were to continue, we're going to be ready for that.
In Hardin, Victoria Hill, MTN News.
Thanks, Victoria. Still ahead on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2. Day 2 of the Democratic National Convention features some rising stars in the Democratic Party and 2 former presidents. We're going to take you there. And in sports, backup plans. We're going to hear how Rocky quarterback Drew Korf has taken his skills from the gridiron to the business field.